Gossip. When I was just a boy, the summer vacation days were long and filled with curious adventures. Afternoons, in particular, held a special place in our family routine. Many of our neighborhood wives would gather at our place during those warm and languid hours. While my sister chose to nap and escape the heat, I kept myself occupied with art and crafts. My mother, a beautiful orator, took center stage, entertaining our guests with both food and her enchanting stories. Her storytelling abilities were truly remarkable. She would often share personal anecdotes with my father, discussing her experiences and challenges with her in-laws. The guests were captivated by her tales, savoring every word as they savored her delicious dishes. These gatherings became a regular occurrence, and I, as a young boy, found myself in the unique position of being invisible. It was as if I wore a magical, invisible cloak, hidden from the adults' conversations. They engaged in their chats, sharing gossip and matters they believed I couldn't comprehend. Some of them even brought their knitting materials, making productive use of their time. It was during these gatherings that I first got a taste of what gossip truly meant. Sometimes I visited friends' houses where similar sessions unfolded, and I heard the same stories retold in different ways, with altered contexts and meanings. I realized that this was a form of peer-to-peer technology, where each iteration added a new twist to the story. Data integrity was not a big concern, but the overall impact should be better than that heard from the previous source, much like a dominoes effect. As I wandered around my father when he met with his friends, I noticed a stark contrast in their conversations. They would start by discussing the weather, then move on to topics like potential rain next week or the outcome of a one-day cricket match. Then they would start discussing which cricketer was not performing like before and which one they think should be included in the team. Their discussions seemed superficial and unrelated to real life. In contrast, the mothers' discussions delved deep into family matters, children's well-being, education, health issues, in-laws, and their husbands' office promotions. I pondered over the cause of this difference and found an answer while studying monkeys. Just as male monkeys tended to stay aloof under the leadership of an alpha male, female monkeys huddled together to share social bonds and protect their young. It was a similar dynamic among the adults. However, I couldn't help but wonder if men's and women's brains were different. I learned that their functioning indeed had some differences. For example, while men could seemingly stare at a television screen for hours in a nothing zone, women couldn't understand this concept. When a wife asked her husband what he was watching and received the response, "Nothing," it often led to irritation and confusion. The wife would say, "How can you be staring and watching nothing? Surely you were thinking something. What were you thinking?" The husband would helplessly try to rewind back and find out what he was thinking, and it seems it was nothing. It seems women's brains are always doing something, at least while it's awake. If you ask them, you might get a different answer. Like if you ask her why she looks so happy, she might say,
"Why shouldn't I be happy, as I had decided to marry you 10 years back?"
After this, it is clever to agree and to move away from the scene without further questioning. I had observed that whenever I tried to apply logic and was about to win an argument, my wife would seemingly reboot, referring back to the time when my parents first visited our house. It was as if her mind was connected to everything, with a central processing unit based on an algorithm formed through interactions with her mother-in-law. It has been a challenging algorithm to decipher. You might have heard me mention the term whirlwind wife in the past. When she entered my life, it was like a breath of fresh air. She transformed our house, making it more organized and livable. I used to live in one room, and the other room was filled with unpacked cartons that I had brought while I was moving back from Mumbai to Hyderabad. She encouraged me to unpack and put them to use. Together, We embarked on a small project, creating a water fountain with terracotta artifacts and bamboo shoots that graced our living area, a masterpiece I marveled at countless times. Gradually, I discovered that her primary interest lay in vacuum cleaning the house above all else. I took on cooking duties, as she was a perfectionist when it came to handling vegetables. Every cube had to be perfectly equal. While I appreciated her attention to detail, it turned lunchtime into an abstract concept. First, the kitchen had to be cleaned. Everything had to be in its proper place. And then the vegetable dicing process was intricate and seemingly never-ending. I eventually gave up on that, and she didn't complain. Instead, she wholeheartedly embraced her role as the household's vacuum queen. Some might think Japanese products are superior, but I tell you they are all made in China. I ended up discarding 2 vacuum cleaners with burnt-out motors due to her insistence that they weren't powerful enough. The last time, I brought home an industrial vacuum cleaner 3 times as powerful as the domestic ones, just to be safe. As I lugged it home, I couldn't help but wonder if it would suck the entire house in. Luckily, it's still working, and I have kept my purse at a safe distance from where it's operated. When I started my food business, our house became dirty more frequently. She took charge, vacuum cleaning 3 times a day, all the while voicing her complaints. I felt the need to find a solution, so I introduced a robot vacuum cleaner that could speak but in a nicer tone than my wife while vacuum cleaning. I thought it would be a pleasant surprise, but I sensed a tinge of jealousy in her reaction. She used to sit on the ding char, holding her knees, watching the thing suspiciously, and comment whenever it left a bit out. It was as though I had taken away a crucial part of her whirlwind power. I wanted to tell her it's not my affair that I have brought home, but I was clever, so observe everything quietly. Presently, the robot lies unused in the cupboard. One reason is our current house has different floor levels, which the robot struggles to navigate. The other reason is my wife's decree that it's not powerful enough.